Thank you, Sahana, for organizing this event. So I would like to actually share my learning experience myself. I think going from the normal physical classroom to the online classroom, I think it was a lot of learning and education for myself. In fact, I felt initially, you know, it was pleasure teaching for me in the normal mode, which fortunately we are back to now, to pressure teaching. I found that online teaching was absolutely high pressure for me because, as Kishore was pointing out earlier, I was completely a blackboard teacher. I have never ever used PowerPoint. I've always used just the blackboard. And suddenly going from blackboard teaching to online teaching, you don't have equivalent of blackboard with the on online teaching, except if you go to board start writing and somebody does recording and all that. Otherwise, you just have a PowerPoint or equivalent. And till the online classes started, I did not even have one single PPT with me. So, the thought of having to start the online teaching gave me a lot of stress by itself. So it was quite a nightmare, and I had did a lot of rehearsal, and of course it was a lot of positivity. Like I've never heard of Zoom or WebEx or anything like that before in my life. So this online teaching, of course, educated me to the level that I've got used to all these tools, and I started writing or preparing the PowerPoint slides for the online teaching. And since the course that I was doing was more mathematical in nature, I actually started writing. I used just a dummy, open a PowerPoint, a dummy slide, and then start writing. Thanks to Microsoft Surface Pro and the pen I had, I could simply write as though I'm writing on the blackboard. Of course, the canvas here is much smaller than the blackboard, but that's the closest I could mimic, and that's how I, started preparing for the online courses. So before every 1 hour lecture, I would spend at least 3 hours preparing this slides, because I could never kick myself to have everything ready beforehand. It was just nearly impossible. So I had to do one class at a time, spend few hours writing the slides out, and then start teaching that. So the biggest plus point of the online teaching I find is the you can archive the entire lecture. That's a real big plus point. Given to myself, if this online thing had never happened, I don't think I would have recorded my class and go into that flipped classroom and say that, okay, kids, these are available to you. And I don't think our kids are anyway going to watch them beforehand. So, but even this idea of getting to record the lecture and being available on a long-term basis, I think is a huge plus point of the online classes. But from the enjoyment perspective, as a teacher, in my view, online is a utter disaster, because for me, the fun of teaching is really interacting with the students live in the classroom, seeing their reactions, going around, like as one of our panel colleagues mentioned, going around in the classroom when we assign a task. So all that is completely lost. So the real pleasure part of the teaching was completely gone for me. So any day, given a choice, I will always, do the physical classroom teaching. But in terms of my evolution for online thing, so the first, couple of courses I did in the first 2 semesters, I spent couple of hours preparing for each lecture. Then the last semester I was doing, the last semester online teaching, what I did was I thought that let me start writing live in the class, online class. I just simply put the again Surface Pro. I could take it out like a slate and keep it down and start writing on that. So I could do all that and try to mimic you know live blackboard experience. Of course, with the limitation, still it is such a small canvas as compared to thing. But actually, I could succeed. I could do that. So all this learning to me would not have been possible if this online mode of education was not available. Of course, as I just mentioned, there is nothing to replace the physical classroom experience. But the plus point of online teaching is the outreach. Like somebody talked about 10,000, 13,000, or lakhs of people. So all you need is good internet. If that is available, and if the students are serious enough, I think the online mode of education has such a huge outreach. I see that as a very big positive thing. Assuming the students are serious. Otherwise, पर्दे का पीछे क्या होता है, nobody knows. You only see a screen and nobody keeps their video on, so you have no clue what they are doing. Maybe they are doing multitasking, busy in the kitchen with their mother having some snacks. You never know what is happening in the online classroom. But assuming that they are serious, that they're really there to learn, I think the outreach is fabulous in this online mode of teaching. The other positive things I can see in the online stuff is talking about the hybrid or this kind of combined mode of education. It opens up an opportunity. In a normal classroom, as I said, I only use the blackboard chalk. But now that I'm used to this a bit of online thing, I can stay connected with my laptop and use resource anywhere from the world during the classroom for a particular topic. If I feel like, hey, let me share this slides or content that is available anywhere in the world that is there in the web, I can flash it, I can use it. That's a great plus point, that I can use in this kind of a hybrid approach. And in addition, I can have guest lecture anywhere from the world. See, otherwise, normally we typically have guest lectures coming in to give some expert lecture. But that means scheduling, availability of the speaker, travel, logistics. Now all those issues are gone. So I can simply have to look for the availability for that 1 hour or 1.5 hour slot. So that's a huge opportunity I see in this online mode. So these are like, I see that blending we can do very effectively between the physical classroom and using the online features that we've got used to. Of course, many things, of course, offline is not really teaching. Now, because of this opening up of this online thing, I don't think anybody is going to go for PhD Viva in person. Everybody now wants to do only, so these are the big plus points that we've got out of the online experience. The other thing I used to do in the online classroom, just to get the feel that I am in front of a class, I always used to have at the beginning of the class, as well as at the end of the class, all the students, as many students, to open up their videos. And I also, of course, I'm always my videos on. So I at least used to get feel for seeing the students at the beginning and end of the class, and that helped motivate me to have the feel that I'm really teaching in front of a classroom. So these are some things which I tried, which really helped me. So I think with these comments, I would like to stop. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity again.